Okay, so on Apex,
Mhm.
basically the whole map revolves. Well, of course, you want the default, right? So you want power up, blast, and positioning. Positioning,
Mhm.
you really need to be around the center area.
Yeah.
It's a kind of flexible where you want to do it, and there's some other decent defaults that you can use.
Mhm.
For example, you can
Yeah.
grab the super speed that's back here, and then use it to launch up this ramp to go towards this part of the map. Um,
Right.
but in most cases, you are going to either want this super jump or
Mhm.
this super speed. Um,
Right.
so whichever half of the map you come from, you kind of have that option.
Yeah.
In terms of blasts around the center, those are also good to know about. Obviously, we have
Yeah.
this one. We have this one.
Right.
On this little bridge behind the chat, there's one here.
The one on the bridge is the one I keep forgetting about the most, I think.
I've noticed people have no clue about this blast, and I've used the hell out of them. And then there's
Yeah.
one here behind the chat as well,
Right.
with a super jump. So it's kind of self. You can get everything there to fulfill your needs, and
Yeah.
then head over to the center.
Mhm.
And there's also one here. This one can be good if you don't really have time to do this, and you're coming from this side corner
Oh
spawn.
yeah, that's
And
true.
there's one here behind the ramp when you're coming out from this area. So
Right.
basically, if you're in this area for your spawn, it's in your best interest to leave immediately because you can get this blast,
Mhm.
and it's going to deny it to the other player. That's kind of a common theme.
Yeah.
Like if you're in this area, you want to jump down and get this blast, and then you want to go get this super jump. And the
Mhm.
earlier that you cut the spawn and go get this default, the harder it's going to be your opponent to find a secondary default in the remaining
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Especially if they only leave one gem. Now, if they wisen up to what you're doing, they can leave more than one gem, and that will even either give 7 seconds for the power ups to respawn, or they'll have time to go
Mhm.
like get the secondary default over here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we can watch the video now.
Mhm.
But that's kind of what I want you to be thinking of. Every spawn is like, did I put myself in the center position with blast and good power up?
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I think I remember what happened here, but this is unfortunately
Yeah.
just gonna be Blast Chicken. Just kind of how the game works.
Yeah. I kind of knew. I mean, I knew right away what you were gonna do. I knew as soon as I popped it. I kind of fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't want to blast first here, I don't think.
Mhm.
Now there is a world where you blast like immediately, and you go like
Mhm.
up, and then I blast you, and combined we send you into the blue. But that's the thing about these like blast starts, just like, well,
Uh,
it's kind of like the opposite of the mega, because in mega it's like literally just ping, like whoever pops mega first usually wins. On blast it's kind of like a little bit of a chicken game because depending on the
yeah.
situation, first or second could be better, and it comes down to really
Right.
intricate knowledge of both the map and how blast works.
Mhm.
But my plan is to not pop it, and then you'll see what I do here. So you
Yeah.
launch me, and I have
Mhm.
this ramp that I can land on that will give me the height. And actually, I think you can just blast from the ground level if you have ultra blast up. It's like really tall for
Yeah.
what you can do. So
Mhm.
that's what I end up doing.
And then yeah, that's predictably.
Could
Yeah.
you have made this? Oh, I blasted you away. I see.
Yeah.
I thought you just missed.
Sorry, I'll figure out how to record with sound because that'll be easier for you.
Yeah, that'll be good because hearing the other person's
Mhm.
power is very important. Okay, so
Yeah.
I like our situation. We have Ultra Blast, we have Super Speed. We're in the bouncy floor default. It's the perfect spot for us.
Mhm.
I think you do get this.
Right. That was crazy. The that you just landed right in front of me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Already, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. I just kind of assumed there would be another blast like
Right, but this in this particular corner of the map uh, doesn't really fly. But if you look
Mhm.
carefully, there's another one
Yeah.
right here.
Oh
See,
shit.
there's two of them.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
it's very simple. Instead of going down to get this gem, you simply just go get this blast.
Yeah.
Or even at this point, you can get the first gem, and then you can go over and get blast this way. So you have a lot of options. The wrong play is definitely get this last gem because then you're giving yourself
Yeah.
5 seconds, and you don't have blast. So I am
Right.
heavily advantaged next spawn, and you lucked out
Yeah.
here. This should not have
I
been
did.
a win for you in most cases.
Yeah.
This was terrible by me. I should have had this.
Right.
That's 10 more points than you should have had here.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point.
Oh, I'm not sure about this. What are we waiting for? Like where are we looking?
Mm, yeah. I don't know. And yeah.
Because
I was.
the reason we want the super speed is we can use it into the bouncy floor, but our back is to the bouncy
Yeah.
floor, and all of these spawns
Mhm.
are like not good for super speed.
Yeah.
So you either pick up the super jump. I mean, I think we have time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
have
So
time.
you either grab the super jump and stay here, or you keep the super speed and go to the other side.
Yeah. That's fair.
And if you
I
do want
was.
to sit here with super speed, you don't look this way because if the spawn's over here, you
Mhm.
like already lost.
All right.
Did I blast you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely my goal. Was like blast you backwards. Nice job getting the blue,
Mhm.
although we do share it.
Yeah.
Oh
And then
my.
that fucked me out of like the entire next spawn.
I had no idea that hit you that far. So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So at this point, the game is still salvageable.
Of course, of course.
Like, yeah.
Uh, this one's debatable. I mean, it's probably fine, but
Hmm.
I'm in better
I
position than
definitely
you.
I noticed that I have a hard time like realizing when. Oh, okay, that was just
Yeah, nothing you can do about that. You have a hard time what?
like realizing when a spawn is like sometimes I plan on going for a red and then the rest of the spawn goes away faster than I can realize that I shouldn't get that red. Like, cause
Yeah,
yeah,
that just requires like good awareness of where I am and what I'm likely to do. You have to kind of put
yeah,
yourself in your opponent's shoes, and I feel like that's something that's really hard for you. It's a big weakness of your play. So
right,
we need to kind of focus more on tracking the other person.
yeah.
This I'm sure will be good. Yep, very nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, this happened to me all freaking night, dude. I just mega and you phase through me.
Gosh,
Oh no.
that was just sad.
I mean, this is not that bad of a position. Like if it's any other spawn, basically you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely rushed with that. I maybe could have looked first, or just know the lineup or something. I don't know.
Again, like
Like,
I don't know why we're here though, because we had time to go to the bouncy floor, which is objectively the best one.
okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Because again, you're putting yourself in a position that you okay. How many times have you launched off this ramp with this super speed in your life?
Um, quite a few. I mean, which is maybe not the best thing for,
Mm-hmm.
but like, yeah.
I think it's good in a pinch, but it's not optimal. And when we have 5 seconds to get to the
Hmm.
optimal, that one's preferred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've launched off the bouncy floor with super speed like a large multiple times more than you've launched off of this one. Um,
Right.
so you're going to be better at reacting quicker to these
Mhm.
spawns and knowing exactly what you have to do.
Yeah.
So basically, you're giving yourself more work to do here, and you're a very mechanical player. So you
Hmm.
will handle this better than I will, for example. But
Hmm.
it's still mental load on your stack. And if you're having to
Yeah.
think about how you're pulling off this trick, you're not thinking about where I am, what power ups I have, the optimal
Yeah.
line that you need to take to account for that.
Yeah. Plus, it's just like I can't rely on that all the time if it's a tournament match and my fingers are
You're
shaking and
nervous, exactly. I mean
yeah.
that's another reason why I don't think your playstyle really translates very well with the nerves.
A lot of high risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that mega that was pretty brutal. That was the one that fucks me out of the entire spawn. And at this point, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like I had no idea that you had a mega in your pocket, so
yeah, I don't remember that one at all. But I've hit some okay megas apparently, so
mm-hmm.
okay. Did we get this last gem? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're honestly lucky it's a double blue. Because if it was just one, it's going my way.
Yeah. I mean, that might have been my thought process with that might have been like a speed up the pace thing.
Just watch me freaking vomit. I hate Mega Ball.
And then the double blast.
Yeah, this is so awkward. So this spawn is basically a wash. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
have 5 seconds. We're in nowhere land. We have no power up. We have no blast. We
Mm-hmm.
completely squander 3 seconds. Where are we going?
I was I, I was thinking gyrocopter or some shit, but
It's
yeah,
like
no.
no shit. I win this blue. Like, what are we doing? This cannot
Right.
happen during a game against a top
Yeah.
player.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good. Blast, power up.
That was crazy.
Could you have done this faster? Yeah. Just don't just don't blast immediately.
Mm,
If you blast low, you spend less time in the air, and so you get there faster, and
yeah.
you're also more likely to be within range of blasting me.
Right. I could have jumped on top of the thing maybe and then
Jumped over and then blast
yeah.
while falling.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing where you probably thought that blue was yours because you spawned close to it, but you just didn't know where I was. Um,
Yeah.
and you should always have the general idea of that.
Yeah.
This is just never gonna work against me, but probably against other
Right.
people, it's fine. It's like you're generally very quick on like this area of the map. It's really good. That's kind of where like
Mhm.
a player like you is able to excel.
Right. A lot of slopes and stuff.
Yeah, low friction slopes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Not a good move. Yeah.
because you're not at the bouncy floor.
Yeah.
You're about 2 seconds away from the bouncy floor, and you're not lined up. So the only acceptable spawn for you is the one back here,
Mm-hmm.
because then you can line to this. But anywhere else on
Yeah.
the map, not gonna fly.
Right.
I like again. I think you did a good job with what you had. Like you super like
Mhm.
this is a good play. You super speed through the super jump, use it at the right height. But I have so much less to do. Like it's so easy for me because I have a super jump and I have positioning with blast. So
Right.
you've played a great spawn, but the problem is you gave yourself too much work to do. So
Mm-hmm.
against top players, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
this is exactly the same problem that I saw with Kago in my review with him as well. He just puts himself in bad positions at the starts of the spawns and like prays his mechanics will get him out of whatever situation.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely do that. So
Yeah, I don't think like I'm sure this was what got you like 3 finals in a row, but I don't think it's gonna fly anymore without major changes to the game.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! Whoa! Like, you do this shit for breakfast, man. But like, it
Yeah.
doesn't even matter that much.
Cause you're there, yeah.
I'm never going for that. And again, we're up here with no
Mm-hmm.
power up.
Right.
We have 4 seconds. We
Mm-hmm.
have time. We just don't have a plan.
Right.
So again, a free blue for me.
Yep. Yeah, at that point I
Oh,
was
yeah, I don't like this. Whoever's not me was probably getting this red. And then
Mhm.
once you get that gem, you're down there with no blast or
Yeah.
no power up.
Mm-hmm. I had 3 seconds to go get that one. And then
Oh my
that
god.
was that was fun.
Why don't you just go for like this ramp and then just go up?
I don't know.
Because
Because
like
I saw you were way ahead. So and also, I was down by 30 points,
okay,
so I
but
decided to just
let's say it was an even game. What would you do?
Mhm. um yeah, I have no clue if I would attempt that, but I know that I probably shouldn't.
Okay, well, how
Like
often, like percentage wise, do you make this like edge hit onto a thing and it works?
it really I mean, it really depends on how warmed up I am. And also, like, I think if it were an actual match situation, it would depend on the opponent. Like, for someone like MBO, I know that I could play it relatively safe, and as long as I just don't take too many risks. Like, in the match with him, I think that's why I won, is because I stopped taking too many risks and just tried to stay with him. Um, but I guess, like, I saw that you were way ahead, so to the spawn, and I was just like, oh, fuck it. I don't know.
Well, okay, let's say you go for the trick. Like, how likely is it that you succeed?
Um,
The
I
reason
guess
I'm asking is for me, it's
yeah.
like less than five
The,
percent.
right. For me, maybe it's more like, well, you know, 15, 20, but still not ideal. And like the payoff, I guess I would end up on the
It's
bottom
20
area.
at best.
Maybe okay, maybe like 15.
Okay.
Hmm. Like it wasn't, and also that wasn't like my intention when at this point. I just like I bounced and I saw that I I don't know. I saw the edge coming at me, so I was like improvising.
All right. Yeah. Um, I would never recommend doing this. Now, this might be the kind of thing that like defines you as a player and like why you enjoy multiplayer, but you have a
Mhm.
15% chance of getting there like what 1 second faster than if you go up here and blast, and that's like being
Yeah,
generous, right? Um,
yeah.
so okay, let's say I have like a 2 second lead. So let's say I'm
Mhm.
gonna get like 3 of the yellows, and a red.
Mhm.
So I'll get 7 points. And
Mhm.
if you go up the ramp, you'll get 5 points.
Yeah. No, yeah. I
But
mean, like.
let's say if you do this trick,
Mhm.
we tie. Actually, let's say you win this spawn
Mhm.
if you make this trick, okay?
Right.
But you make this
Yeah.
ramp last like 90% of the time. Like
Yeah.
no good player is ever really missing this ramp trick. But
Yeah.
if you don't get this 15%, you have
Mhm.
85% chance of getting nothing.
Yeah.
And so your expected value is 0.85 times nothing plus 7 points
Mhm.
times 0.15, which we'll just call 1.
Mhm.
If you go up the ramp, you have 0.9 chance of 5 points
Yeah.
plus zero point 0.1 chance of nothing. And we'll call
Mhm.
this 4. So
Mhm.
your expected value of this spawn is, if you go up the ramp, is 4. And if you try for the edge hit, you're more likely to fail, and so your expected value is very low. And
Mhm.
and let's also not forget that you getting 1 is basically zero sum with me getting all.
Yeah.
So this is not 3 points less expected value. I'm going to get that, and it's basically going to be
Mhm.
a 6 point widening gap between these two decisions.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that this is obnoxious, but I'm really trying to paint the picture that if you go for these high risk plays, the
Mhm.
0 is very like highly weighted. It's not like, oh, you pick up a gem or two, it's not the end of the world. No, you basically get nothing when you go for a trick like this and don't hit.
Yeah.
So by going for safer paths, your ceiling
Mhm.
is lower, but your game is more reliable. And I have a feeling that
Mhm.
going for this type of thing is what sets you into that rut in the middle of the game where you just get completely rolled for like a minute and need to get your bearings again.
Yeah.
So if you never like stumble into a situation where you epically fail and get 0 points on a spawn and lose tempo, then you're more
Mhm.
likely to not find those situations where the other person chains several spawns
Yeah.
of wins on you.
That's a good point. I mean, I think in a like in this exact situation, I think I can chalk it up to it being the end of a unsalvageable game, and like if it were an actual match, I probably wouldn't go for it, but I think what I did get out of that is that it's good to like notice the route and like maybe use the because I think if I were in that situation, I am looking a bit more towards the ramp. Like if I would probably I don't know. I kind of might have ignored that ramp. And if I didn't go for the edge hit, maybe I would have tried to like roll up the side ramp, which also would have been slower.
Yeah.
Um but like yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. I think the
Mm-hmm.
question sorry. I think the question for me is like how can I um like if being a high risk player, I guess, doesn't translate well to um the question is like I guess I mean this is more of a bigger question. We can just keep going through like the matches and the technical stuff, but it's like is there a way I can partially reinvent myself rather than like completely I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, there's a variety of situations. Let me show
Yeah.
you another situation, which is
Hmm.
the way that you launch yourself over here and you decided to go under this sign.
Yeah.
This is hard to do. You could have
Mhm.
just blasted over it. Now, if you
That's-
did this, you have
I don't think I
no
had enough time,
ultra
but
blast. No, no,
mhm.
I promise you could have made it over the sign.
Oh yeah.
But you went under the sign, and you probably make this like half the time.
Mhm.
Maybe you think it's more, but this looked really hard to me. Um,
Mhm.
this is a risk that's more likely than 15, but it's not
Yeah.
100. And so these are
Mhm.
the kinds of like murky like decision making and risk like management that are more relevant in the game. I think you never do this freaking edge hit. Like if you want to be a better player, this is like not something you do because this
Yeah.
edge hit only gets you like 2 or 3 points difference on the spawn. But
Yeah.
if it comes down to a risk where the consequences are low of failing and the upside is high and
Mhm.
it's easier to make, then I think
Yeah.
that risk is good or calculated. Now the problem
Mhm.
is I don't think you're the kind of player that can do this
Mhm.
arithmetic in your head as you're flying through the air.
Right.
um, so I think you can be better at it, and I think that's what I want to ask you to try and think about. But I
Mhm.
don't think you're ever going to get to a point, and frankly, I'm not at a point where I can do this either. And so my
Mhm.
fallback is I do what I think is going to be more reliable. I'm a very conservative player in that way.
Mhm.
But your identity can be you lean more towards these, and I think that's fine. But what we need to do is eliminate these where it's very clear that there is a steep
Yeah.
downside. Um,
Oh, for sure.
so yeah, like
I think.
because the numbers are different, right? The numbers are different for me.
Yeah.
I make this edge hit for sure less than 5% of the time, unless I like really practice it. But
Mhm.
I don't because that's not how I play the game. Um, and I would make this,
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe let's say 20% of the time. And so it
Uh-huh.
your expected value is higher than mine for going for these plays because you're
Mhm.
multiplying them by different numbers. Um,
Right.
so I think just try and have better feel for when you're
Mhm.
taking a unnecessary risk.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
think
what were you gonna say?
I think just knowing all that stuff with like defaulting and just being ready every single spawn, I think that's definitely gonna
Yeah, because the defaults are
reduce
very
the
low
need.
risk. You give
Yeah.
yourself less work to do, and so you have to
I
take
think
less risks to catch
if
up.
I can do that, like that would be much better in like that'll be easier to think about if in like an actual match when I'm, nervous. And then like if I win a couple games, then you know, I get more comfortable mechanically
Right.
and with that. Yeah. I
Cool.
don't know. But yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Now at this point I was just like whatever, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think this was a good one to look at. So from this
Definitely.
game, number one is your map knowledge. You need to
Mhm.
know where the blasts are.
Mhm.
Um, and this ties into when you understand the map, you will understand when to leave the last red in order to go
Mhm.
to the default.
Yeah.
But in order to understand where to cut, you need to track your opponent.
Yeah.
Because there were many situations, like you were saying, it was that you get a gem when there's still 3 reds left, but I'm obviously going to get the other one, it,
Mhm.
given where I am.
Yeah.
And then that leaves you in a situation that you didn't anticipate. But for
There's
me,
just so
I
many.
already anticipated the fact that you
Mhm.
would get that red in my routing.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's so many times when I feel like I'm going to default and then you're already there, so you're just thinking ahead more, or is it that you, I don't know, maybe like studying the spawns and studying like what scenarios when to leave or something like that? With I mean, that could be overwhelming because there's like a lot of spawns in this
I
map. But
definitely have not studied every spawn, but
right.
I genuinely have a sense of how long it
Hmm.
takes to get from any given spawn back to the default, and so I leave enough time. I leave myself enough time to do that, and I usually do it before my
Yeah.
opponent, which means they don't have the default left for them when they get,
Yeah.
because they're busy thinking about how they're going to clear and route the entire spawn. When they do their
Hmm.
path through the spawn, they don't think, "Oh, I want to route this way because it'll bring me closer to the default." No, they just think, "How many points can I get as fast as possible?" And I think you're kind of
Hmm.
still in that mindset as well.
Yeah.
And
No, definitely.
the last point is our risk analysis.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this is kind of what I want you to work on as a player. If we
Hmm.
can do this, I think. I mean, if you can do any all of these like at a decent level, like there's no reason why you can't be the best player in the game.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, I guess yeah, like knowing how to practice these things, uh, like whether it's like just thinking about it during friendlies or like, I mean, solo or some combination of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think the map knowledge is one of those where I can definitely do like on my own, and then like the risk aversion and like tracking your opponent, that feels more like something I would have to figure out while playing someone else. And it's also tricky because like no one else really thinks about all of these things. So like someone like even Mazik, who does a is very strategic, I can still beat him like the way I've been playing for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I could potentially win a series against him and maybe Frostfire, but like definitely not you at this way. So
Yeah.
it's
I
it's
think
good
I
good
think
to think
Mazik
about.
does all of these things at a better level than everyone but me in the tournament. But
Yeah,
maybe he drops a lot of them when he plays other people and just caters to me because I know Frost plays
yeah.
entirely different versus me than everyone else.
Also, I mean, like I know that he's he, I think the times that I have faced him, he probably was not in the best mental state. So I'll definitely give him that.
Yeah. Okay,
Hmm.
let's look at Outlook and then we can call it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for staying up
Oh, no
for,
problem.
for
I enjoy this.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, what do we know about Outlook?
Hmm. Uh
You picked this against
well,
Frost and Swiss.
yeah, those defaults up at the top. And there's also like I guess the way I've sort of been thinking about it, like it's an oversimplified way, but is like primary default, the two blasts and the super speeds at the top, and then secondary is like the super speed on the bottom or one of the like super jumps near the pool of water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, that's kind of all that I've been thinking about.
Okay. Now, this is kind of the default area of the map. Um,
Yeah.
this map is very like swingy. Like this spawn
Mhm.
is definitely, or this default is definitely not always the best place to be for any given spawn, but on
Yeah.
average, it's probably the best. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of times where like a blue will spawn, and if your opponent is defaulting, they might be in a better spot, and that you just get unlucky. But what I think is important is understanding the fastest way to get up here for any given spawn,
Yeah.
because you are only going to have 5 seconds. This map only spawns what 6 gems, and so in order to get points, you're going to get almost all of them. You're only going to leave one red, and so you have
Yeah.
5 seconds from any given spawn to get up to this default, and that is
That's
that's very
been hard
hard.
for me. I think I found a new way like in the middle of the game that was somewhat promising, but like that's still tough.
Was it coming up these ramps and blasting up here?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you do it on the other side. It's like there's this little like ramp up here,
Yeah.
and you tried to come up from here
Hmm.
and over to this
Right.
ledge, um,
Hmm.
which can work, but it's kind of risky as well. So
You need to have enough blast for sure.
yeah, you do, and you need to not hit your
Yes.
head. So those are both
Right.
things that are worth practicing, because this map
Mhm.
is not really all about the default. It's about how do you route to the default, because this is the best place to be, but it's not always the best place to be, and it takes a long time to get here. The map is very unique in that way.
Yeah.
It takes a long
Yeah.
time to get your default, and that makes it an interesting map to play.
Oh,
But
definitely. I've definitely grown on this. It's grown on me quite a bit.
yeah, so throughout the game, I'm going to be looking at like how do you get up here and when do you decide to, because we only have 5 seconds. If we're down here,
Yeah.
it's like we don't always, like, it's not always the best idea to go up here, because what's going to happen is
Yeah.
the timer is going to tick down. It's going to be like 1 second. We're flying in the air, super jump to get this blast.
Mhm.
We're not gonna have a power up when we get here, and so maybe super speed
Yes.
on the ground is better than ultra blast up here for a lot of the
Mhm.
spawns. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm gonna be looking at your decision making on this game.
Yeah.
Um, for this spawn, it's kind of diagonally away. I think it is best to go left, but I actually had to think about this at the start of the game,
Hmm.
and I was a clown. Like this is another like at the start of the game, like if it's not like a super map knowledge thing, like you're always gonna beat me, because like I just don't have the marble control to really
Mm.
pull this kind
Right.
of stuff off. And so you need to make a lot of mileage at the start of the game before I have the opportunity to get power up and blast advantage and defaults and all that kind of stuff. People run
Yeah.
up the score against me early.
I'd be very curious to see a map where I can really implement that whole like speeding up the pace thing.
Hmm.
Maybe it's not this one or Apex, but like I don't know.
Yeah, well, I can tell you it's not Horizon, because that seems to be
Yeah.
what's dug you a hole over the past couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're caught out. We're caught out. We think, how do we get up here with 4 seconds? But the answer is we don't.
Yeah.
The important thing about Outlook is if we divide the map in half, and
Hmm.
let's say this line is actually on the tornado. So this half
Yeah.
of the map has no super jumps on it.
Yeah.
And so it's very hard to get up here. You have to come up here and jump off this ramp with a lot of blast, or jump off this ramp with a less amount of blast. Um,
Hmm.
and so this is hard to do in 4 seconds when you don't have momentum. Um,
Yeah.
and so you can't do it here. But you already have a super
Hmm.
speed. This is good enough. Now
Yeah.
it's not like I have ultra blast. You're not at any disadvantage. We need to just have decent positioning for the next spawn. And for
Yeah.
most cases, you can just kind of sit on this super speed and be ready to use it. But you
Yeah.
end up stuck on this ramp. Oh, I actually get the last red because I saw you were stuck on this ramp. Yeah. I go up here because you're doing God knows what, and
Hmm.
suddenly you're a little bit caught out, but you do have a nice snipe to get the yellow.
Yeah. I was a little bit lucky with
Yeah, you
that
were.
line going. Cool. Yeah.
Why'd you go up for this yellow?
Um. I sort of in the moment thought that it might even out. Um. Wasn't totally sure. I guess is kind of a waste of super jump.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not that bad, but I think my line's a little bit better.
Yeah. And then
Now, notice on this spawn, like, I'm not going to defaulting or anything,
yeah.
because I don't want to get caught out by you getting that last gem.
Right.
This is good by you.
Hmm.
we end up sharing the blue and I get a good respawn, but I mean, not too much either way. Oh, I think you should super speed out this ramp here.
The like that one.
Yeah, like don't blast.
Yeah.
Don't blast, just super speed. Because I actually super speed off these ramps a lot
Mm.
because they can get you all the way to the default, right? If you have a super speed on this like this ramp, this one's not as good because you can kind of overshoot. Look,
Oh,
look how the angle is. But these ones are really
yeah.
steep, so
Yeah.
you almost never overshoot off of them.
Oh, you know what? You know what the problem was there? I think I couldn't quite read the location of the spawn. I thought it was like on top of that little hill. Like
Oh no,
I
yep.
thought it was right here.
Now this is a
But
very
yeah.
like awkward area of the map. You don't want to be stuck here.
Yeah.
Also, there's a
I think
gyrocopter there. That's kind of. I don't think I've ever picked that up. I just realized that is there.
I think like one of the things I do sometimes, like the reason I got that last red is because I'm like trying to get in a flow and like free flow towards the next spawn instead of, and I'm like not prepared for uh extra for like something that is different than where I'm
Yeah.
going.
No, this was good. You won the spawn for sure. I completely screwed up traversing.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, this is a map where you have to like decide whether or not you should default.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
maps are just like you should always default. But
Hmm.
yeah, okay, I like what you did here. Because not only do you get 4 points to 2, you should end up getting the blast. But I realize that, and I make you commit to that.
Yeah.
But luckily, you get bailed out again.
Hmm.
But I hope you can see that, like, because I was able to get this blast
Hmm.
and use equivalent exchange to blast you out of the next blast, make you fall here. It's like on average, I win the next spawn.
Yeah. So like what could I have done differently to get the blast first or something? I'm maybe not get that red.
I think you just accept your fate
Because
here. You don't
yeah,
go get
maybe.
this blast. Now, I can tell you that almost everyone that is not me is not going to use this blast to blast you out of this other blast over here.
Yeah.
That's just
I
not
would
something I
probably
see.
Yeah.
But it is the correct play because most people don't think that like using an ultra blast is free if they can get
Hmm.
another blast. But like I understand that it's free because I can get this one.
Right.
I don't actually end up getting it because the spawn timer ticks down, but on average I would be in a better
Mhm.
position.
Yeah.
And because you super speed, obviously.
Hmm.
I
Oh.
you see how
Oh.
I get the red because I you did a super speed through a tornado and you probably were gonna take time to recover. This
Yeah.
is an area where you can do that.
And then I got pretty lucky here because you went missing.
Oh no,
But I really should have
this is
gone.
another like mechanical failure getting up to this area. I'm pretty
I
sure.
absolutely should have gone to the right first. This spawn in here is just like so hard to read.
Oh, this is not hard to read at all.
I
You just
mean,
jump blast.
it's-
You need to be able to read this spawn to play this map.
yeah,
Like this
yeah,
is
that's
like
fun.
much easier than a map like PCC to read
Yeah,
spawns. So
I
and
guess I guess I just need to like think about it rather than
yeah, I feel like you're
yeah,
just like bolting to the highest gem that is easiest for you. Like you see a yellow that's
yeah,
on your path, it's like okay, I'm gonna go get that yellow. But you don't
yeah.
think
I do
about
that.
when it's separated like this. Most maps aren't separated like this, but in this case, this yellow is like 5 seconds away from the rest of the spawn
Yeah,
in terms of actual
hmm,
traversal and not distance.
it's annoying. I do shit like that. Like even if I don't do it all the time, I feel like I do it at least once a game, which is maybe just like having played the game a certain way for 10 years and then.
Yeah. So
But I
again,
got bailed
you
out.
did almost this entire spawn when you really shouldn't have.
Hmm.
And I completely script the tornado. You completely do a good job with the yellows. That's like 9 points going your way again. Get the blue. I mean, the game should be over at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. See how I just get the yellow and go for the default?
Yeah.
Because in my book, this one red that you went for is not worth it. Because
Yeah.
this is not a map where you can get the default quickly, so you kind of have to go up these stairs and use the 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh no, what do we do here? We use our blast to get up.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, look at how many points that. Okay, yeah, you got 1 point, but the lead I
Mhm.
have to the next spawn
Mhm.
is worth a lot more.
Yeah.
I get the yellow, I get the red, the red. So I probably won this spawn by 3 points, and you got 1 point on the
Yeah.
previous spawn. That's
Mhm.
2 point gain for me for doing what I did. Okay, let's look at what you did here. You try and get up.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you can see you don't have time.
Yeah.
Now, what would have been good is you have a decent amount of blast. You can hit this ramp and go up, right? You can
Mhm.
hit this blast up here, but instead you
Yeah.
jumped forward and tried to hit off this wall, which is going to take way too long because then you have to go back and get the blast. Whereas if you
I
just
think that was
blast
just
up
me.
here, you get the blast.
That was definitely a case of me like forgetting how high up it was. I thought it was in that moment for some reason. I thought it was too high.
Yeah. Now another faster way is literally there's a super jump behind you back here.
Yeah.
So you can just grab it and go up here if you want to do this. What you did
Mhm.
is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
My slow ass still doesn't get here very fast. Oh, this is so bad.
Yeah.
This is a really bad place to get the last red because this little tunnel
Mhm.
area is isolated. The only way you win is really if it's in the back of the map or you get a double spawn.
Mhm.
So big lead for me over here. I'm probably gonna squander it because I cannot on this map right now.
That point, I probably could have gone up for the default instead of just staying there. Um,
Here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think the last gem is a yellow here, which is unlikely to be left.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like,
So I was probably gonna get it before you could get up to the default. And I
yeah.
think going up here is a decent idea. Okay.
Mhm.
But again, you don't have to go up and
I
around. You can
hesitated.
literally blast left,
Hmm. Yeah.
which you should try doing. So this whole time I'm just like collecting gems while you like are wishy washy between defaulting or not. I'm much more decisive about when I default. Whereas like
Mhm.
you don't know the fastest way to get there and you don't know
Mhm.
how long it takes and when you have time to do it. And so I just keep capitalizing. And I get a little bit lucky that it keeps respawning here, but I'm forcing you to like play faster than you're really in a position to do. Yeah, good, perfect.
Mhm.
This is what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
It's a little unlucky for you that I just was in a position to get this blue faster, and now you've fallen down, and I have a lead to the spawn above. Oh no!
I th-
Was this a respawn abuse attempt?
I was I was just trying something because I didn't think there was any other way.
Yeah, no. There's a spawn down here. You're definitely screwed if you do that.
Yeah.
Okay, good play. I like that.
Mhm.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you think of, but I'd probably hesitate and
Right.
not pull the trigger on something like that.
Yeah.
think I probably should have taken the line you did.
Mm-hmm.
Now you had a super jump. Instead of getting this last red, you could super jump up to the default, which I think I like a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
Because you have no blast. You use it to get up.
Mm-hmm.
And this red puts you in a very awkward spot.
Yeah.
And so it's here. And I have a 2-second lead.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, I think knowing when I can afford to waste a power up and when I need to hold on to it is another thing I got to work on.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This one basically came down to map knowledge because I mean you played mechanically much better than I did this game.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of map knowledge, there were two things. There was the default and everything
Mm-hmm.
this entailed, which
Mm-hmm.
was one, the fastest path to get there, and two,
Mm-hmm.
how long it takes to get there, because
Yeah.
this is how you decide whether or not to get it. To go for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then number two, when you have these kinds of like split spawns over here, you need to be able to read
Mm-hmm.
the spawns.
Yeah.
This will bite you in the ass if you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, these are kind of the only two things that really stood out to me in this game. I thought you played like
Mm-hmm.
mechanically well. It was just
Mm-hmm. And
you,
like being decisive and
yeah.
committing to whether to default or not, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game from you at all. I just was able to
Mm-hmm.
do these two things better. I mean, this one didn't even give me any points because you still won those spawns. But I mean, honestly, the default and like some convenient blues is what gave me the win, despite you playing much better mechanically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fair.
And I think that's a common trend, um,
Mm-hmm.
where I mean, you played this game for many more games than I have, but my map knowledge is still better than yours on a lot of these.
Yeah.
So we need to kind of bang our head against the wall doing reps a little bit less and like understand the map a little bit more. And I think that's something that these
Yeah,
kind of reviews can help you with. So
definitely. I mean, like, in a sense, yes, I have been playing the game like at a high level mechanically for years and years, but at the same time, in a way, it's like it's easier or it's easier for you as an outsider or coming in to like analyze what you have to do
mm-hmm.
from from more of a bird's eye, I guess.
No,
And
I
like
get
because
that.
yeah. But like it's still super impressive the like everything that you've done and I
Well,
think it's
thank you.
gonna I think it will deliver you
Please don't
the
jinx
big
it.
prize. No, I won't say. All right. All right, you're gonna lose 5-0. It's you
Thank
yeah,
you.
there you go.
Finally, someone besides A game. Um, but yeah, I completely understand what you're saying because like this default is like I'm sure people did it, but they didn't like think about doing it. Um, they
Yeah.
weren't conscious that this is like the best strategy. It was like, okay, I'm here, it's convenient, let me do this now, but not like planning their whole strategy around it, right?
Yeah.
And so you haven't had this time to like think about what's the length of time to get from here to here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you haven't like, and so like me
Yeah.
being new is like I'm on the same level of this as you are.
Mhm.
Now,
Right.
what you have had longer to do is figure out which spawns are where and how to get from A to B. So that's
Mhm.
kind of an aspect that is still not where it should be, and especially considering you picked this map against Frostfire, it's like it needs to be in a better place for you to pick a map like this.
Yeah, that was entirely just going off of
Hoping you didn't play a
2023
PQ map.
results. No, it was 2023 results. So I beat him by like 40 points, and then I kind of just assumed that he wouldn't know what to do,
Yeah,
you know, still, but that was bad.
no, dude definitely pushes me on this map, and I'm probably
Mhm.
one of the best players on this map. So
Yeah. I think like for cuz historically the term of like map knowledge, I guess, always meant just like knowing the terrain really well.
hmm
And that's kind of what I've always thought of, is like knowing the terrain, knowing, getting a feel for all the slopes and all that stuff. But like I definitely have thought a lot less about like memorizing the power up locations and stuff.
yeah, I mean, we also have like everyone has a different definition of what like map knowledge means to them. Like for me, it's like
Yeah.
I have to know where every single blast is, right?
Hmm.
Because that
Yeah.
way I know like where to go myself, and I know that if my opponent went in this area, they probably have blast. But
Yeah.
if you're John, like you don't give a shit about this at all. You need to know where the megas are. There's one here, and there's two on the
Mhm.
freaking roof, I think. Right, and it's like I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't know this. Like I never think about there's a mega here or there's a gyro under the freaking ramp in the back. It's like
Yeah.
it's not important to me. It's not important to how I play the game, and so
Yeah.
I don't worry about that. There's a gyro here. It's
And
like who cares,
yeah.
right?
And yet John does like so well in,
Mm-hmm.
to keep up despite like not. I mean, the reason why he loses is I don't think it's even because of that. It's just because he's like not as the best mechanically. But
Yeah.
like then it's interesting, and sometimes it's like I wonder when I think about there being like multiple ways to be able to win a game, like multiple weapons of choice, then I get a little bit indecisive and like overwhelmed by that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Now this is another area where it comes down to like the style of game you want to play. It's like
mhm,
the lens that I'm going to give you is very blast oriented.
mhm,
But it's not the only way. Like John proves that it's not the only way. I
mhm.
mean, Frosty probably thinks about it from the gyro perspective, right?
Yeah.
But I don't. And when he plays me, he can't get away with this, right? But against most people, he's incredibly good at controlling those. Um, and so that works for him, and the megas work for John, and the blasts work for me. But
Yeah.
you don't really feel like any of those kinds of players, and you need to
Mhm,
kind of have a more like holistic, balanced view of like where are the things that you need to make a game work for
mhm.
you. And
Yeah.
that probably looks different than the way I view the game, and that's okay because
Mhm,
my way is definitely like not the one best way. It's like the meta is gonna evolve. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and so I mean, feel free to like keep innovating and think of it, differently. I mean, I'm just really trying to
Mhm.
give you a push to get started.
Yeah. I mean, I really, yeah. I do think like, oh, my train of thought. Something about blasts. Oh yeah, like the question is like, is there one perspective that like usually works better on certain maps than others? Because I think that that's probably true.
Um,
Like,
yeah, I mean, every map has its own different strategy.
I feel like your way on something like Outlook is probably the best, just because of how long it takes to get those megas. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I
Like,
shouldn't be that good at a map like Outlook because like the default is not easy to do, or you
mhm,
there's a lot of spawns where like you cannot default. It's not a good idea too. And
yeah,
I tend to be a lot worse at those kind of on the fly situations,
mhm,
compared to a map like Epicenter where it's like very obvious what you have to do every spawn. It's routine,
yeah.
um, and so I have very little decision making. Or
Epicenter could be a good one for me to practice, because not because of like, whatever, like, because I can do these things like, defaulting well and defaulting quickly, but I don't do it all the time. Like, or I do it at a I forget to do it a lot more than you forget to do it, and a
Yeah.
lot of us. Yeah.
I mean, there's basically like different classes of maps, right? There
Hmm.
is basically one default maps,
Hmm.
and this would be like epicenter or concentric or this
Yeah.
type of map.
Hmm.
I think maybe core kind of falls into this too, where you want to go back to the center every map.
Right.
And then there's kind of like we'll call it dynamic maps,
Hmm.
where there's not really a good default. Like
Hmm.
vortex effect kind of comes to mind. It's like there's not you don't really want to be in the center very often.
Yeah.
These maps often have good places to stand or
Hmm.
good things to do, but it's very much like not mandatory.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of the biggest ones. Usually the
Hmm.
biggest. Where's my cursor? It's over here.
Hmm.
Usually the biggest ones, but these are like free flowing maps.
Yeah.
Like Stadium is a good
Hmm.
example of a free flowing map.
Right.
So I mean, most maps kind of fall into these categories. I
Hmm.
actually tend to be best at two
Hmm.
because they have defaults that they have multiple defaults, and
Uh-huh.
understanding like when to use which one or when to like pick up the last red gives you an edge. On a map like Epicenter, everyone knows what to freaking do. There's not really much of an edge
Yeah.
to be had.
Right.
And so oftentimes it comes down to mechanics. And as for
Uh-huh.
three, let's like my strategy tends to be more routing based than it does defaults.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I think two is definitely where you can get a huge edge over other players by kind of implementing this outlook strategy of like carefully considering when you go for things. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Something to think about if I ever want to make a map.
Yeah, I think no, I really like two. I think Cascade Falls is kind of that style of map where there's not really an obvious default, but there's a lot of like good options around the map where
Yeah.
you can make conscious. It's very like outlook like, right? Because you have to be very conscious of when you go for the defaults or when you go for the power ups or the blasts.
Right.
So that's kind of like a tie-in with a review there.
Yeah. That's true. Huh.
Okay. Anything
Interesting.
else?
Uh, I mean, I think that's quite a bit for now. I mean, I definitely love to go over some of the others sometime, but I don't wanna keep you up.
Yeah, I've been going for an hour already, actually.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, oh man, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night,
Mhm.
man.
All right, you too.